This is a movie about David Khabie. He was my grandpa on my mom's side. We called him Jido. He was born in 1937 in Damascus, Syria. I don't know much about his time there. He moved to Beirut, Lebanon not too long after his birth, I believe. Maybe he was 4, maybe 5. I don't remember. When he would tell me and my cousins stories about his younger self, I could never tell if they were taking place in Syria or Lebanon. He used to tell us about how great the coffee was. I think this was in Beirut. He used to tell us how every morning he would get the paper, a cup of coffee, some olives, and sit on a bench by the sea reading. It sounded relaxing to us. I remember one story he told me, my favorite story he told me, about his time as a tailor in Lebanon. I think he was 15 and he used to tailor and deliver clothes to the Lebanese mafia. He told me that he used to bring the clothing to the mob on Wednesday mornings because that's when they would count their money. I don't know why it was on a Wednesday, but they would count their money and because it was out, they'd give him a big tip. So he only delivered on Wednesdays to them. I don't know if this is true, but I don't really care. I choose to believe it is. At some point in the late 50s, he met my grandma Lily and they got married. She was 15, he was in his 20s. They had a kid, my uncle Vico, and stayed in Beirut until Vico was about 3, I think. My grandma was telling me a story recently about how Jido and my great-grandpa, her dad, would sit on the balcony of their apartment and listen to Kulthum every Friday night. I love this story. I love picturing it in my head. A glass of wine, a little radio, a nice Mediterranean breeze. It feels very cozy. I think about this a lot. During the 60s, Jido, Sasi, which is what we call our grandma, and Vico left Beirut and went to Minnesota, where shortly after their arrival my mom was born. They'd go on to have 3 more kids and carve out a nice little life in St. Louis Park. I have a lot of stories from then too, but that's for a different time. I was born in 2002. He died in 2018. I had 16 years with him. Apparently, when we were all born, when we were just babies, we'd cry every time we saw him. I don't know why. He wasn't scary, he wasn't mean. He was soft-spoken, gentle, and really funny. But for some reason, we all used to cry, and Sasi would calm us down. Maybe we were just being babies. I don't know. Every summer, we would go to Minnesota to visit them. I remember how every morning Jido used to cook 2 fried eggs, toast a pita, and sit outside reading the paper with a cup of coffee. When I remember this, it's always sunny. When he would come to New York to visit us, I remember we used to walk to the Garden of Eden on 23rd and 7th. It isn't there anymore. We used to walk in and go to the olive bar at the back. They had a sign that warned against picking food out with your hands, but we would do it anyway. When no one was looking, he'd stick his hand in and take a green olive, and I'd take a cornichon. We'd walk away and then come back in a few minutes for more. I'm trying to think about what my time with him was like, and the truth is, I don't really know. But I know that when I think of him, everything gets warm. I think he just always wanted to make us smile. He just wanted us to laugh. I guess he had had enough hardship in his life, so he knew what really mattered. He just wanted us to be happy. I used to cry every time we left their house. I don't know why, I just always used to cry when saying our goodbyes. Sassy, though, would tell us not to say goodbye, just say, "See you later, alligator." The last time I saw him, I didn't cry. I said I would see him later. When he died, it was probably the worst day of my life. I found myself starting to forget Jido. I remember what he looks like. I remember how we'd walk, how we'd talk, how we'd laugh and wear pajamas to Shabbat dinner. But I'm starting to forget the small details. And I don't want to. I'm scared to. Because I don't want to lose him. And that's all I have left. I don't want to forget the way he called us sweetie every morning. I love him. And so I guess I'm not really making this movie for him. I'm making it for me. Because I may not have him, but I'll have this. I'll have stories and pictures and memories, and so yeah, he's gone. He's dead. But not really. Not so long as I have this.